The end of the season?
Been working on this answer.
Oh, you have.
I'm going to go the end. I'm going to go the end on that one.
Yeah, it's a big deal though for the program. It's a nice step.
Yeah,
Put that in the cap.
yeah. You know, I think it's a testament to the group last year, honestly. And yeah, we hope to be in the top 25. I think it adds some pressure, but I think that's the position that you want to be in.
How much talent is on this team, and how much has to be developed before the first match?
You know, I think we're in pretty good shape. We scrimmaged some yesterday, and of course, then the list got really long of many things that we need to work on. But I think we've got really good offensive firepower. Michelle Sickner's a phenomenal setter. I think a lot of people question, you know, since we lost Megan Bober, our big setter, but those shoes are filled with someone very strong. And then I think we've got some new kids that'll help out. And then our backcourt defense, we think, is going to be a strength. So we'll see when we put it all together.
Is this Big East deal, Big East in terms of volleyball now, move up or move sideways?
I would say it's lateral,
okay.
yeah. Pretty similar, you know, they have one team in the top 25, the Big East has one team in the top 25. You know, I think that you've got strong teams all the way top to bottom. You know, you can't take a night off, any team can beat you. But I would say it's lateral.
Going back to the preseason rankings, that kind of say this program is going in the right direction?
I hope so. You know, that's the goal. We want to consistently be there. I think, you know, this is a program that I think we can win a national championship at Creighton. I think you see what our men's soccer team has done, and I think, you know, our goals in the short term is we want to, you know, make a splash in the Sweet 16 in the next couple of years, and then go beyond that, and that's what we're selling to recruits. We've got, I think, great academics. Volleyball has a lot of high academic kids. We've got the facilities. We obviously have the fan support in Omaha. So, you know, my question a lot of times is, why can't we?
Why can't you play Nebraska?
It's a good question. I hope that it happens. In all honesty, you know, we wanted to play this year. They had some scheduling issues, but I hope that we get back in the home and away hopefully next year. I think it's important for the state. You know, I think, you know, we both have teams with a lot of Nebraska kids, and anytime you can showcase talent, it builds the sport, and really that's what Coach Cook and I both are trying to do.
Would that be the same on the other side with UNO?
Sure. Yeah, I think, you know, Rose and I have talked. They've got a great program there, and I think it is similar shoes to, you know, and I appreciated it when Nebraska, you know, played us early. I think, you know, Rose and I have talked, and I think you'll see Creighton and UNO playing in future years.
Is this a weird deal, though, I mean, the expectation level before maybe down here, now the game has changed a little bit for you guys. How do you guys embrace that challenge?
You know, we scheduled probably our toughest non-conference. I think Robbie Anderson said that we have more top 25 teams that we're playing than anybody else in the country in a non-conference. And, you know, I always say, you work so hard, why don't you want to play the big boys, you know? So that's got to be the mentality. We go out and have fun. You know, I hope that anytime you see Creighton, if it's 24-24, we're swinging for kills. And if we make errors, we make errors, but we're gonna go out there and try to win. And that's what I think competition, it really gets fun and exciting.
Do you think this team is ready for that next step? With what you're saying, playing a higher caliber
Yeah, that's what we're preparing for. Obviously, as a coach, that's what we're building toward. But, you know, our play is going to have to establish whether we're ready or not.
What do you think right now? What you see?
I think we've got pieces to be good, you know, and I think our job as coaches in the next couple of weeks is to identify where our deficiencies are, and that's what we're trying to establish in practice so that we can shore those up before we play BYU, who's the top, I don't know if they're 12 or 13 coming out. They're gonna definitely exploit any deficiencies that we have, so it's our job to find those beforehand.
Although you don't have any seniors on the roster this year, do you feel like you have a pretty veteran team, though, with the experience they've had so far?
I think we do. I think physically we have some kids that have played a lot. I do think we're going to miss our leadership from last year. I think we had phenomenal leadership. I think we've got leaders within this team, but we're asking them at a younger age to kind of step into roles that a lot of times we don't have to ask kids to do. I think, you know, it definitely is a progression. So we're calling our juniors, seniors this year because that's the expectation. I think they'll do a great job, but I think that's a big question mark for us.
Is there danger too, knowing that in the back of their heads, oh, we always have next year, we always have the next, I mean, do you have to address that?
I haven't addressed it. Maybe I should. That's a great. I should hire you. Here's the deal. You know, I think you can have great pieces, but things can happen. Injuries can happen. Chemistry can happen. So if we have an injury for a year this year, we have to seize it this year because you never know what's going to happen next year. Attrition can happen. So, you know, I hope they get the urgency. And one thing that last year's team did so well is they showed up every single practice and every single night to play. And that's for us to be great this year. They're going to have to do that. You cannot take a night off in Division I volleyball.
Have you sensed that from the team that they're okay with last year and content with that?
No, and in fact, you know, their theme that they came with is earn, never given. I think they understand that 1 year, you know, last year means nothing, other than their expectations have gone up. You know, we're only a few days into practice, but they haven't taken the practice off. I mean, that's a big thing that we'll look at as coaches, is if they start to get complacent in the practice gen. So far, they've been great.
Thank you.
Awesome.